Hello, hello, hello. I need to get you. To add this. Verb. Right, so this is another attempt to make this into a microfronted. So we haven't read the entire microfronted setup. We just saw this article online. Okay, let's read this. Router config versus standalone component. Okay, most tutorials on module federation and Angular expose microfrontends in the form of ng modules. However, the introduction of standalone components will have lightweight Angular solutions not leveraging ng modules anymore. This leads to the question, how to use module federation in a world without ng modules. In this article, I gave answers. We see both how to expose a bunch of routes pointing to standalone components and how to load an individual standalone component. For this, this is the one that we're interested in. Okay, I've updated my example to fully work without ng modules. Okay, so router configs versus standalone components. In general, we could directly load standalone components via module federation. While such a fine-grained integration seems to be fine for plug-in systems, microfrontends are normally more coarse-grained. Not sure how to read this, coarse-grained. It's usual that they represent a whole business domain, which is which in general contains several use cases belonging together. Interestingly, standalone components belonging together can be grouped using a router config. Hence, we can expose and lazy load such router configurations. Okay. Initial situation or microfrontend. The microfrontend used here is a simple Angular application bootstrapping a standalone component. Okay. So in our code here for the microfrontend 3, we want to bootstrap a standalone component, but there will be like these are the routes, so we're going to define the routes. But first, let's create some component. So for example, let's say what fish or kitchen, and then food. Okay. All right. So this will be in container mfe 3x-web. So let's execute this, baby. Yeah, baby, baby, baby. Oh, like baby, baby, baby. No. But hold on. Let's see his example. Are these all standalone? Yeah, there might be all standalone. And then food also. And then let's update our routes. Let's load those baby girls. Load component. Port. No, kitchen component. Right, and then here is foods. Load component. Features food. food, and then all right. So let's check here in our MFE3. Let's go here. This kitchen works. So in this one here, we want to remove that entire thing so that, yeah, there's a kitchen works. Okay. But yeah, this is now using the standalone loading, lazy loading. So let's just see how we are going to progress with this one. Okay, so there's a route here. Okay, so let's do what's this? Okay, so in our main.ts, so in the main.ts, this one here, main.ts. Okay, so in the main.ts, we're going to bootstrap application component, then app config. So let's go to the app config. This is where it's put the providers, provide router, routes. So import providers from. So what's the difference between this import providers from and this one is router module. We don't have the router module anymore, right? Router module. This is still from router. Uh, so when bootstrapping the application, register its router config via service sys provider. This router config points to several standalone components. Here, import providers from bridges the gap between the existing router module and the world of standalone. Okay. As a replacement for this, future versions of the router will expose a function for setting up the router's providers. According to the underlying CFP, I don't know what's this. This function will be called configure router. Nope, that is not configure router. That is router provider. Provide router. Yeah, I think that is, yeah, because this is using the previous Angular version. Okay, so to get started, let's install Module Federation plugin and activate Module Federation for. So let's ask Gemini. In Angular 17, how to enable Module Federation in remote applications. Right, so because this one is Angular's old school Angular, like 2022, I think, Angular. So we want to use the latest. So here, absolutely, here's a breakdown of how to enable my module federation within your remote applications in Angular 17. Okay, install the dependency and then generate module federation. Okay, so let's install this first. So I think it's still the same. Okay, so this is for the remote still. And like that. Okay, it's still the same, right? Exec should be MFA3. Yeah, still the same. And for the other one, this will be Docker exec MFE3 3x web. Then project here is MFE3x web. Port is 3300, then type is remote. Okay, looks very much the same with the one that we have in the example. Okay, so let's execute this. So this is the beauty of oops, set. So this is the beauty of Docker development. You don't have to be where once the containers are running, you don't have to be in a specific folder. You can just run anywhere and it's going to emit those files in the volume where it was attached to. Alright, and so that's it. Let's go back to Gemini, modify web config. So locate web config, the webpack.config.js. So this is the webpack.config.js. Might be generated by the previous step in the root of your remote application import, and from yeah, this was already generated. Okay, add the plugin within your webpack configuration. Okay, so this one, file name, name, then file name is remote entry.js, exposes component. Yeah, so this is the same with what we have. App features. Yeah, here features, then food, then food that component.ts. All right, food that component.ts. Okay, and then what else? Exposes. Yeah, component src features food. Okay, start your development server. Notes, exposes carefully. Define what you want to expose from your remote application. Share dependencies. Manage shared dependencies between the host and remote applications to avoid version conflicts. Deployment. You'll need to place the generated remote entry.js on a web server accessible to the host's application. Okay, integration with the host. Right. Okay, so this is how it'll be called from the host. Okay, so let's restart docker psa docker restart mfe3x web. Okay, so let's just restart it to make sure. Docker logs mfe3x web. Follow. All go routines are asleep. Deadlock. Why is it deadlock? Docker logs mfe3x web f. Uh-huh. Manager complete. Oh, what's this? Okay, it's generating. It is regenerating. Okay, integration with host application. Your host application also needs module federation setup. The host configuration would typically look like this. Okay, we'll just do that later. Okay, so we restarted. Let's see if this is still working. No, it's not working. Okay, is that an expected thing? It's not working anymore because we're doing this. Okay, so let's try to, should still be working, right? Um, Is there a remote? What's that? Remote entry.js here now. There's no remote entry and it's not working anymore. My remote, after restarting my remote app is not accessible anymore. How to fix this? Alright, here's comprehensive troubleshooting guide to help you fix the issue of your remote app becoming inaccessible after restarting. Check if it's running. Ensure the development server for your remote app is actually running after the restart. Okay, so it might be that we need to in here, right? We are defining as expose 3330, so that may be the case. So let's rebuild. Okay, so let's rebuild. Let's rebuild, and then here, instead of 4200, this will now be 3300. Yeah, I believe that's the case now. Okay, so Docker build. After the Docker build, we are going to execute this next. World. What give I have to get you? And what give I have to get you to? But he's got to learn the way to notice in you. Alright, it's copying. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, and hurry up, and to hurry up, and hurry up, hurry up, and it's to hurry up. Right, so yeah, we have to rmng mfe3x web force, and then let's run this, and then psa docker logs mfe3x web follow fishing go. I'm in the fishing go. Every nobody talk. Open your doors, dance on the floor. Hey, what's your name? Let's play a game. Here it begins. Your hair will spin. Ding-ding-ding. I am the champ. Right, it's running. Let's visit this one again. All right, so I was right. So remote, what's that? Remote, what's that again? Remote entry. All right, so let's see if we have remote entry.js. Oh yeah, we have remote entry, and now we want to update our host apps, which is this one. It's now it has a web config, which is this one, a webpack.config. So it says here to put the remotes like this, put it like that, um, with the module federation remote name app, remote app name. So the remote app name is our MFE3 MFE. Yeah, I think we just have to do it like this. MFE3X web. So MFE3X web, and then this is going to be MFE3X web port 3300. Okay, then how to, okay, so let's continue here. This is the shell, so this is the remote. It has something like this now. We want to do it dynamically, so dynamically here like this. So where is our microfront? This is the dashboard, right? So dashboard, this is the dashboard, and then in the dashboard, uh, okay, await MFE component. No, we want to use this. Okay, so this type module entry. Okay, so HTTP MFE X web 3300 remote entry exposed module component. Okay, so let's go back to our MFE1. Will it have any result if I load? Okay, so failed to fetch dynamically. Okay, so let's get the IP of a container in Docker. Okay, so we are going to use the MFE3X web. So this is its IP. We're putting it here like that. And then let's refresh. Or maybe let's restart. Maybe let's restart our Docker restart MFE1X web since we updated our webpack dot um webpack.config.ts. Okay, so let's docker logs mfe1x web follow. What's this? Okay, so let's rm mfe1x web f, and then let's run that again, mfe1x. So this is the one. Okay, so docker logs mfe1x web f. So, uh, so if you're wondering why I am having this in Docker, it's because I don't want to keep on installing different versions and uninstalling different versions of Node and Angular every time I switch to a branch. I'll just set it up in the Docker file, and that's it. Everything's Dockerized. Okay, so I'm confidently sure that I will always have the same version if if I build and deploy it to production or to any environment. Okay, so let's wait for this to complete and let's see if what okay, so let's ask Gemini, um, can you give me the example how to render the remote component in the host? Yeah, absolutely. Here's an example of how to render a remote component within your Angular host. Yeah, CMFE, students, and host welcome component. So how is it gonna display how is it going to display the HTML? So it's loading. Okay, failed to fetch. Still failed to fetch. Okay, so let's update our. So this is one, right? And then we are going to gave us an error. So the dashboard, this one here. Load remote module, type module, tree remote exposed module. So the one that we exposed is this is component. So in our dashboard, so component. Boom 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 boom. Boom 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 boom. I rise across from empty land. I know that it's just the back of my hand and across on my feet. And nothing complete. The simple things, what have you got? And now it's something to rely on. Tell me when you gonna let me in. Say the stage on tree. So let's try. Local host will work. Uh-huh. The simple things. What have you done? No, there's something to read. Okay, cannot read properties of undefined B view. So what's that? So this is not planet. This is kitchen, right? Kitchen component. Oh, it was able to even IntelliSense the kitchen. Okay, can you help me fix this? Miguel, what have you done? I'm getting older. It's something to realize. Alright, so it seems like you're trying to dynamically load a remote Angular module using module federation in Angular. Here's a few things to consider and fix your issue. Here's the corrected version. So, what is the corrected version? The placeholder, right? So, load, um, try. So, it gave us a try. A module and entry name. Okay, so it didn't give us. This should match the name. Configured and a remote sweep back. So what is the name that we gave? Um, web the name should be this one. And in our dashboard, yeah. So we are going to remove this. So yeah, it still needs that type. Nope, I think this is not the way. Remote entry, expose module, remote name. Maybe we'll just add remote name. Does not exist, so it doesn't exist. Load remote module, yeah. simple things. So have you gone? Alright, so nah, 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 nah. Absolutely. Here's how to integrate the code snippet to display the loaded remote module within your view container. Alright, so create the component. This one, right? This is our content before. Kitchen component. Render the component. So Alright, so let's see. Where you go, get component if. So I'm getting this error. When you go, boom, boom, I'll never think I'll make you try to stay. Doom. Maybe when you get back, I'll be off to find another way. Alright, so let's try to remove this first. And after all this time that you still love another girl for nothing, I don't know. So take the gloves and get up, better get it out. Why you can't? Alright, so well, where you go? Let's decipher this error and fix the issue. The error message type error cannot read properties of undefined rating. What's this? Usually indicates problem with how your module federation setup interacts with Angular's internal component rendering mechanism. Here's a breakdown of possible causes and troubleshooting steps. Incorrect module federation configuration. Double check that your remote app correctly exposes the component you're trying to load, right? So what was exposed? It exposes food, not kitchen, food, man. We're exposing food. Why are we rendering kitchen? Alright, so we're supposed to be food. Supposed to be food component. Down, 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 down. When you go. Component, food component. Let's go back, food component, right? So let's go back to our features here. Why are we seeing kitchen? Food. Okay, it's supposed to be food. Alright, so let's see again. Ah, see? There's a food now. This is from our remote. Damn, it works. Yeah. So we got our first micro front end working. So one full small step for me, one giant leap for me. Okay, so what if we update our food in real time? Is it going to update it also? You got it, bro. Bruh. You got it, bruh. So is it also going to update? So is it going to give me you got it, bruh? Where you go? Would you eat? Ah, see? I got it, bruh. So I had a problem here. So I cannot select version. So if, for example, if I'm not ready to accept your version, um, I don't want to. How can it handle versioning? So it will give me food version 2, so that I will not display your version 2 yet. I'll just display your version 1 because I'm not ready to accept your version, your latest version. How can we do that? And if I click a button here, will it interact with the host? So that is the like the questions that we have, like we can have. But I'm happy to see that this is now working. Dun, dun. And how do we do authentication on this one also? And currently we are just using the same localhost. I will deploy this to an actual URL on the next videos, so stay tuned, guys. All right, cool. We got it. Thanks. Bye bye.